Autism Quality of Life podcast, episode 21. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Autism Quality of Life podcast. Today's interview is with a guest who I had been really looking forward to chatting with for a while. When I first learned about Angie, I knew immediately that I had to speak with her because her work and her curriculum is really one of a kind and has the potential to impact so many families. So in this interview, Angie and I chat and she shares the 5 modules in the I Can Work curriculum. So the I Can Work curriculum provides hands-on training in the areas of job readiness, clerical, retail, food service, and the grocery industry. And it really taps into all of these key areas that can be useful amongst a number of different settings, and talks about what it would take for a family or teacher to start using this curriculum. And really, it sounds rather simple in terms of setting things up. And it's just really exciting that she's been able to develop a manual and put all of these materials together, resources, handouts, and provide a really exciting resource. After listening to the episode, you can go to Angie's show notes page to learn about how you can pick up your copy of I Can Work, and you can also view all of the resources that she shares in the episode. Okay, let's dive into the interview with Angie Mahoney discussing the I Can Work curriculum. Angie Mahoney is a middle school life skills special educator in Danbury, Connecticut. Angie focuses on supporting the autism community by working with students of all ages in a variety of settings, and her career includes creating and publishing a 5-module curriculum called I Can Work, which is dedicated to fostering prevocational skills for individuals on the spectrum. So really exciting stuff. So hi Angie, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Hi, Teri. Thanks for having me.
Oh, this is awesome. I'm really excited to dive into your curriculum and be able to share it with more people. So could you maybe tell us the story of how you developed I Can Work and really where did it come from?
I had finished my degree from Lesley University and had begun in a private school. And they had said to me, we would love for you to work in our work skills classroom. And I had said, yes, I cannot wait. That sounds wonderful. What does that mean? I had no clue what I was signing up for, but I was so excited to take it, I just jumped right in. So when I first got to my classroom, I had realized that I had 100 individuals coming to me throughout the week as an area, sort of like a gym class. It was considered a special area class. And they were to learn vocational skills, but all I had in my classroom was truly rubber bands that were different colors. And I looked at my supplies and I was like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? I was like, this doesn't make sense. How is this preparing these individuals for places they're going off campus? So I really started to look at the students I was seeing and where they were going or expected to go for in-house jobs and off-campus jobs. And I said, what are those tasks and what can I do to kind of back those skills up and pre-teach them so that when they do go to those off-campus and in-house jobs, they have that confidence, that foundation, and they know what is expected of them at that task. So ultimately, I really narrowed down the 5 areas just to start a foundation focusing on job readiness, clerical, retail, food service, and the grocery industry. So by focusing on those 5 areas, it allowed me as an educator to really narrow in what I was going to then teach these individuals each week in these areas to help build that foundation.
Very cool.
Ultimately, over time, I had worked with speech therapists and occupational therapists who really saw how that support with visuals in those areas and those hands-on skills and some of the conversations we were having regarding even communication skills, that it really was just becoming so much more, and it evolved into I Can Work over that time, just through working with special educators and therapists and different evolvement to what it's become.
So what exactly is I Can Work? So you mentioned it's a 5-module curriculum covering 5 different areas of vocational preparation. So what does the curriculum look like?
So each module has its own focus with lesson plans, data collection, as well as differentiated levels. So what I had found was I would have a classroom of 8 to 10 individuals, and of course there was a range of academic and cognitive level, and I really wanted that one lesson to reach everyone. I didn't want it to be only for readers or, what have you. So I started putting picture supports into everything I was finding related to those vocational lessons. And so over time, it evolved to having every module supported with visuals or a text version. So I could then say, oh, today is job readiness. We're going to learn how to communicate with coworkers today. And every individual will have a support to then implement that lesson and really learn those foundational skills related to that area. So basically, the program has the 5 modules that you focus on, and the first one with job readiness is meant to build more of those work-ready skills that are more communication-based. So learning how to interview, learning what are work expectations, how to dress for work, how to be on time, a lot of those readiness skills that are more learned through, modeling and practice activities. And then the other 4 modules are a hands-on application where you're actually learning how to use 10 to 12 different items and materials in the clerical, industry. And then you go on to retail and you're learning how to do 10 to 12 activities in the retail field, such as hanging shirts, sizing and, boxing shoes, things that I had seen individuals doing just for off-campus foundational work. So if they were going to a TJ Maxx, I thought, wow, let's practice how to hang and size the shirt back in my classroom. So when they go to TJ Maxx, there is this level of confidence and ability there, which creates more of a feeling of success and ultimately evolves to hopefully enjoying that, that job opportunity. Or ultimately not enjoying it, and then we know retail isn't something you want to do. I think that's the main piece to the variety, trying and exposing individuals to clerical, retail, food service, and grocery activities to ultimately see strengths and challenges, as well as interests and where we can, move forward from, as well as things that really weren't enjoyable, and helping that individual track where to go to next.
Yeah, that is so awesome that you've really broken everything down so that an individual can focus on specific skills. In terms of the general progression then, would you recommend that someone start with the job readiness module and then move on into the other 4 after that?
So it's an interesting question. It depends on the individual, as we all know, because you really want to kind of come back to those topics again and again. It's not something I would say, you would talk about interviewing one time and not come back to it. So I have found most programs benefit from doing job readiness throughout the year, or, the model you're using, I'm modeling it in a classroom. So let's say it's 10 months. So you're still utilizing job readiness each month, but let's say month 1, you're doing clerical at the same time and learning those hands-on skills. And then month 2, you're utilizing job readiness, you're still talking about different jobs and communicating, but now you're practicing retail hands-on skills and so forth. And then you come back around to clerical again. So it does sort of model where you can use those lessons all year, and then you vary your hands-on activities and your data collection and, what you're focusing on.
Interesting. Okay. So you really are revisiting lessons and looking for growth over time.
Exactly. I try to really encourage that middle school level baseline, for how did they do in the areas of clerical? How did they do when we were doing interviews? So then as they get older, you have that baseline to compare a year later or two years later. Are we seeing a progression? Are we areas that we still need to focus on? How do we move forward for this individual in this area, right? And build greater success, or they've mastered that. Let's not keep doing it, or let's go to another level of challenge.
Mm-hmm. So far you've used this program in the schools. So you use it yourself and you're currently helping others to implement it. Do you think it would be useful as a clinic model too, and even to be used at home?
I really do. I have seen it actually utilized recently, even in post-high school programs to keep the skill set strong. So although these individuals are in the workforce, they may still want that skill set to be consistently worked on, kind of like exercise, But additionally, I've seen all summer long, parents have shared pictures of what they're doing in their home to kind of supplement these skills and work on independence and build these life skills, just out of, their home, 20 minutes twice a week. It doesn't need to be an extreme amount of time spent on this, which I think has been the exciting piece people have seen, that every little bit really does matter, and so even if at school that work is being focused on or those skills are being worked on, if you also support that at home, it's a win-win.
Oh, definitely.
You're seeing it across both areas, and that individual is getting the language and the expectations and also gaining that confidence.
Yeah.
Important to generalize, right? I think that's something I work most on in my classroom with my students and help others see, okay, we can do clerical in my classroom, but can we generalize it to now doing in-house clerical work for the main office?
Sure.
And then can we take it a step further and generalize it to working, in a hospital setting and delivering mail or packaging their mailings, right? Can we generalize these skills, or should we come back and kind of work on them back in like a home base, such as a clinical environment or a school environment more?
Yeah, that's key. So if a family were interested in practicing these skills at home, whether it's during a summer break or on the weekends, how can they access your curriculum? So where can they find I Can Work?
So you can learn more about myself and the work that I do by going to my website. It's icanwork.therapro.com. You can also follow I Can Work on Facebook to see many of the different ways people are using the program daily. On both of these links, there's free resources to a variety of things related to planning for vocational programming, how to create task box systems in your classroom or your home, as well as how and when to start the prevocational process.
I love those resources that you have on your website as far as videos, and they're linked to your YouTube channel,
Yay!
Which is really helpful for parents to look at some of the lessons visually. Okay, and so that's where they can go to purchase the curriculum through TheraPro. Okay.
TheraPro is a remarkable website. I mean, they have such unique, I find, like therapeutic-focused items that I really just utilized in my classroom, and I've seen utilized in a variety of settings.
Oh, okay. So great resource for teachers and parents, professionals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Cool. So once a family has the I Can Work curriculum, what would be some of their next steps as far as getting materials set up in order to go through the different modules? What would they need to do?
So I would recommend creating a small work skills center in your home. Have a place for your child to sign in and out for work each time. It really builds that sense of responsibility and work readiness. An example, if your child is working on setting the table, you can have them sort utensils in this space first to prepare the job. Other examples of work that can be completed in this space are filing by letter or word. You can collate and staple papers, practice buttoning shirts. This workspace is to be utilized as a routine, so it's a space that they can learn vocational tasks that are purposeful and also rewarding for your child to complete with independence. You can also have your child track the jobs that are completed as well and really reflect on how they felt about that job. Reflecting really allows for discussions and connections to things that your child likes to do, as well as the tasks they might not really like doing. That reflection can be handwritten. It can be a happy or a sad face, even a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Just find what ways your child responds best to keep them engaged and invested in those tasks. And lastly, you can create ways to make chores meaningful and really connected to future goals. Knowing how to set a table is related to working in a restaurant. Folding towels is a task that might be required in the hotel industry. Or even buttoning and folding shirts is connected to working in a retail setting. There are countless ways to tie in hands-on activities at home while introducing job connections to see if an area of interest really stands out. The goal is for your child to really learn what work environment and tasks they would be interested in vocationally for the future.
Yeah, so it's really about making the home environment almost an experimental place where people can test out different activities and then reflect on them.
Yeah, it's a nice way to pair, ideally, what the school is doing. And so when you meet as a team, you bring this information, right? You share with that team, oh, at home we're doing this. Again, is it being generalized? Are you seeing this? Have you guys tried these skills? You know, a lot of it creates that team work and also that team conversation that should be, you know, ideally happening in those middle school years to help really evolve that foundation for that individual.
Yeah, ideally happening in the middle school years, even high school years and beyond too, if that wasn't able to be achieved earlier on. But I think it's so great that you're starting early with these kids.
Yes.
And so what are the age groups that you're mostly working with in the schools right now, Angie?
So currently I'm supporting middle school and high school programs.
Okay. And then did you already connect with some adult services as well, or is that something that you're thinking about doing down the road?
So I actually am currently working directly with one adult service program in the state of Connecticut and really trying to create a model of how do we create lessons and keep this skill set going while supporting employment for 21 and older, because they are seeing, unfortunately, a struggle, and there's a decline in employment. And so the state is saying, or, as many are, how do we make this more successful for all individuals? And what does that look like?
Yeah, this is such an exciting area. I think there's just an enormous number of people who have left the school systems and may not have had the opportunity to develop all these skills while they were there. And so a curriculum like I Can Work is
You're exactly right.
the perfect way, yeah. So that is really neat if you're able to develop the model in a day center for adults and then get that replicated. And
right.
Yeah, so I know that you're interested in consulting about your curriculum and that you've been doing a lot of really exciting things recently with sharing it. Can you tell us some more about what you're looking forward to coming up in 2017?
Yes. I mean, I've truly had the pleasure of speaking with so many remarkable educators, parents, and therapists daily regarding the growth they're really starting to see in the area of vocational skills. And I really do look forward to hearing more of those success stories, as well as learning just new ways to challenge individuals in these areas, because it's always evolving, and that's just so exciting to me. Different ways we can incorporate communication skills in the workplace, different ways we can get workplaces to see the strengths of all individuals, right, as well. Additionally, I'm really looking forward to helping more classrooms and parents create and track real, true work-related tasks, work on noting those challenges, those successes, really reflecting and supporting the individual in the planning process, as well as helping build that work-related foundation for future job placement. I really think 2017 is a year we're going to do more early, vocational skill work and really see a stronger result for those individuals.
I really think so too. Yeah. Just as you were saying some of those things and making this a platform for teachers to be able to better track what they're doing and developing a community for these teachers as a way to share the work that they're doing would be really neat. I'm not sure if that's something you're already doing on your website or through Facebook, but having some kind of way for people to communicate how they're using your programs in the form of some database or sharing platform where you can actually see the progress of all of these individuals nationwide could be a really neat way not only to highlight the value of the curriculum, but to give the teachers and parents who are using it just a way to be actively engaged and to socialize with others who are also using the platform.
I agree 100%. I really do agree. We've been really trying to do more case studies initially just to show, so-and-so started at this point, this is the success we've seen, this was his environment, whereas this is a different situation, this was an adult day version. There's becoming a lot of variety now because the curriculum's been published now just 3 years. So it's really starting to just get that research base now, right? I have now occupational therapists sharing pictures of things they've either modified or how they've challenged or what group it worked with when.
Nice.
I have speech therapists now sharing ways we're doing sort of a whole augmentative alternative communication format now as we work with more non-verbal individuals. To me, I want to make their reflection just as strong, right? Whether it's on paper or not for each job as it would be for anyone. So how do we do that, right? What does that look like?
Yeah.
So we're really starting to share ways that we're breaking it up. And it has been through the Facebook page, slowly, but I'm finding more engagement and more pictures and more feedback, and it's evolving. And I think next will be a way to sort of log into the website and follow videos. I would love to get some video modeling online, right? And really look at, if you're going to teach module 1, lesson 1, here's a video of how I did it, or here's a video of me running it, or here's a video for the students to watch on how to do this clerical task. And it gives them step-by-step visuals and video, and, really tying into more of that, I think would be awesome. I love it, and having more people recently, they're writing more blogs for TheraPro, which is the company that published I Can Work. They're writing blogs for them, sharing how they're using I Can Work.
Oh.
So that's exciting to see, too.
Definitely, just getting those success stories out there.
Yeah. And it's how I learned about the Staples grant. I didn't even know that existed, and we can share more about that later. But it's, $1 million and change is the name of the grant. And, you really need basically probably $1,000 in materials to utilize module 2 clerical. And they have funded 5 different classrooms that I know of this year for just that alone.
Wow.
So that's pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Grant money and such, there's so much opportunity. It takes a little bit of legwork, but it's not substantial.
Yeah, because you're really trying to do this for an entire classroom, not just a few students at a time. So that could definitely add up in terms of gathering all those materials. How else were you able to gather materials for the food and grocery modules, for example? What does that look like?
The food and grocery, I was able to do a lot of, again, sort of that community outreach, and not meaning your larger community, although you probably very willingly could bring in the program and show maybe a manager of a grocery store what you're doing. And I could very much see them saying you can have some baskets and different pieces that they would donate to your program. But additionally, you really save. So let's say you want to build your grocery store and it's empties, but it's recyclables. I knew each time, we finished some milk, I was saving some milk cartons, things like that. It takes a little bit of prep because you want multiples of everything, but it's laid out in the program. You have an entire list for every module. You have an idea of what you need prior, what you need when, how it's differentiated. Everything has IEP goals and objectives.
Wow.
So the program itself will really show you what to get when and in what amount. So it was meant to be very much like, I have this caseload or I have this need and where do I begin, and it really does guide you through that process, pretty straightforward. And I'm very hands-on, as you know, Teri, like you can reach me, we'll email, we'll talk, like I will help anybody that's utilizing this program, to be the best that they can be with it, right, in that sense. And I welcome that. So I'm very much here for anyone that's utilizing it, as a newbie especially.
That's awesome. So what would be the best way for our audience members to connect with you if they had some questions about I Can Work, or if they wanted to find out if the program might be right for them to do at home?
Yeah, so they can email me directly right at icanwork2013@yahoo.com, or follow me on Facebook and message me privately, or reach out that way right through I Can Work on Facebook, again, or through the website. Yeah, either way, I'm very accessible and very hands-on, and I would love that.
That'll be so helpful. And so in addition to your own manual and all of the work that you're doing with I Can Work, I am just curious, since you are definitely in the know about vocational related products and books and resources for families and individuals who need help in this area, do you have any other recommendations as far as resources that families or professionals might want to take a look at?
Oh, absolutely. So I do frequent the Autism Speaks website often, and I especially reference their Autism Employment Toolkit. It's a free PDF download, and it is filled with substantial information as well as activities all related to work skills. You can find it directly on the Autism Speaks website, and you really will download, I think it's 180 pages of just substantial, wonderful information. And it really is something that I will look at weekly, both professionally as a consultant as well as an educator.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be your number one recommended resource right there?
Absolutely. Yeah, it really has a nice layout. It has nice visuals, nice guides.
True. Awesome. Well, that sounds like a great supplement to I Can Work. And I'm really glad that we were able to dive in a bit deeper into what you've developed. So the 5 different components, and really develop modules that are individualized, customized with picture supports, and they really tap in nicely to IEP goals and set children and teens and adults up for greater success vocationally.
Exactly.
Huge addition to our field, and I'm really excited to see where you take everything.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'll keep you updated because there's more to come for sure.
I know. Yep. And I look forward to seeing how we're going to work together, and so happy to have you as an affiliate of Autism Quality of Life, too. Thanks for being a part of our team.
Same here.
So thanks for coming on the show today, and I really look forward to chatting again soon and sharing more about I Can Work.
Me too. It means the world, and I'm excited to share it with as many people as I can to help so many individuals really experience that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll speak to you soon. Hey, Quality of Lifers. I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Angie Mahoney about I Can Work. To learn more about this episode and to view all the resources discussed, come visit us on our website at www.autismqualityoflife.com. You can also follow Angie on social media, on Facebook, and she has a wonderful website and YouTube channel as well. To purchase your I Can Work curriculum today, visit icanwork.therapro.com. If you're a professional in the field who's looking to connect with other autism affiliates and innovators, please find us on Facebook and request to join the closed Autism Quality of Life community. Similarly, if you're a caregiver or parent of an individual who's a teen or an adult, there are other groups that you can join on Facebook, and we'd love to connect you with like-minded individuals in your state or nationally that you might be able to learn from and connect with and share resources with. And so please reach out to us using the contact page on our website, www.autismqualityoflife.com/contact. And we can connect you with the appropriate resources so you can become part of our community, whether you're a parent or a professional. Okay, we'll catch you soon. Take care.